We welcome you to coverage of the 2026 NCAA Division III Women's Basketball Championship. Springtime has arrived in the Roanoke Valley. The Kreger Center on the Roanoke College campus in Salem, the site of our national title game, the first ever trip for the Big Red of Denison, the Lady Royals of Scranton trying to win the program's second national title. The first came back in 1985. Great performances from both teams in Thursday's semifinals. Denison a 21-point win over UW-Oshkosh, and then Scranton ended the record 91-game winning streak for the two-time defending national champion Violets of NYU. We welcome you courtside here at the Kreger Center with Monica Moore. I'm Jeremy Franklin. Whether it's a regular season game in November or a national semifinal, you always want to set the tone early. Both of these teams did a great job of that in the semifinals.
I thought both teams were exceptional in the first quarter of their semifinal games, and it all started with the defense, whether it was stifling pressure, creating opportunities in transition, whether it was getting into the half-court defense, getting hands in faces and altering shot selections. The defense was the key, and when you're playing good defense, that can certainly feed your own offense.
You mentioned the pressure of the Big Red. That really seemed to bother the Titans of Oshkosh early in the game.
This is what Denison does so well. It is tenacious defense, and then you're going to see the heads up looking for the players streaking down the court for the easy baskets. It all starts with the transition play. Abby Cooch was absolutely phenomenal, but she doesn't just score in transition. She facilitates in transition for the Big Red. Look for them to try to do more of that today.
How about the numbers game for the Lady Royals of Scranton? They took a team that was leading the country in scoring offense, which had not lost in 3 years, held them to 52 points, and they were a menace on the glass all night.
They were. I thought their half-court defense was absolutely outstanding. They made the NYU players shoot over them. They altered so many shots, and as you said, rebounding was key. At one point, Scranton had a plus 20 advantage on the glass.
So the championship on the line here between Denison and Scranton, the first ever women's basketball meeting between the two programs. New territory for the Big Red. They'd never been to the Sweet 16 before this year. Scranton, their 10th appearance in the semifinals, but just their second in the championship game. Denison in red, Scranton in white, underway here in the D3 title tilt. And the Lady Royals will have the first possession.
One thing we also noticed on Thursday was how balanced both of these two teams are. They don't just rely on one or two scores. They have lots of players who can capitalize.
Casey Cranston, the All-American, who's had such a great season, only had 5 points in that game. Denison starting lineup, no changes for Mo Hurt's team. Ada Towdy, the first team All-American. Abby Cooch, an honorable mention selection. And here's Anneli Matoinge on the inside, but well defended down low.
I thought that was a good look inside, though, to Matoinge. I'd love to see Denison get her involved early on. She already has a big defensive rebound, and she is absolutely a factor.
Katie Gorski, too strong on the three as you take a look at the Scranton lineup. And there is Kaylee Romanowski, who had 16 rebounds, all 5'4" of her in the semifinal game, getting the O board.
We were so impressed with her tenacity, her ability to rebound, but now Matoinge has 2 of her own for Denison early on.
Ada Towdy from the outside. Still looking for our first points of the championship, but Denison with an offensive rebound. And Molly DeRiggi, the North Coast newcomer of the year, fouled after grabbing the board.
Both teams a little tight early on, not shooting the ball as well as they would like. Credit the defense. Good look there at Mo Hurt, the head coach for Denison. What an exceptional job she has done with this program. 74 career wins.
This team was 10-16 during her first season in 2022-23. And now here they are playing for a title.
Romanowski again on the glass. You would not believe she's only 5'4" the way she plays. She plays like she's 6 feet tall.
Megan LaMotta had an outstanding game against NYU. Gorski wants to attack. Matoinge is as fast as any guard on the Denison team, sticks with her and blocks the shot.
That is her 89th block on the season. She is tremendous at rim protection. Her timing is sensational. Matt Toyingay already off to a great start for Denison.
LaMonna foul line jumper gets Scranton on the board first.
She's a pure shooter. You cannot give her open looks because she absolutely will knock them down. We saw her do it all game long on Thursday.
Rigging no, but there's Matt Toyingay cleaning up and tying the game at 2.
And look how she kept the ball high. There were no thoughts of bringing that ball down. She was going right back to the rim for the putback. Again, could not be more impressed with Matt Toyingay in these opening moments.
Gorski, good shot fake, but the help defense was there. Back outside it comes. Romanowski missing the 3.
And Matt Toyingay altered that shot, but look at Romanowski. She never gives up on the play.
Branson from the outside, no. And Cooch wants to run off the long rebound. Gets stuffed at the other end by Jenna Sloan.
Jenna Sloan plays very good defense. That's one of the big reasons that she is out there. She's not known as much for the offense, but she gets back in transition defensively. Very good timing on her block. Doesn't commit the foul. She's also very good at handling the basketball. Does so many of the things that are so important very well.
We told you how good these teams are on defense. As a result, Denison is 1 of 5 from the field. Scranton is 1 for 6 to start this game. Post up for Matt Toyingay. No, that's Branson getting the assignment of the 6'3 sophomore down low.
It's the 3rd rebound for Romanowski. She wants the ball so badly, and she just has a nose for it. She knows where the ball is going. She's lightning quick.
Deflection there by Matt Toyingay. Lady Royal basketball with 14 on the shot clock. Denison, the deeper team in terms of the playing rotation. Ben O'Brien, the national coach of the year, according to D3Hoops.com, who comes into this championship with a record of 117-6. LaMonna splashes home her 2nd bucket.
We talked with her after the game on Thursday about her work ethic, about the fact that she is always in the gym, getting the extra shots, doing what she can to perfect her shooting motion. And she has been the best player offensively so far in this game.
Tough bucket for Ada Towdy, who's been tremendous throughout this NCAA tournament.
And she's been tremendous in the opening quarters of games in this tournament. She was one of the biggest factors for Denison on Thursday. And then after Oshkosh made some adjustments, other teammates stepped up. But the best thing about Ada Towdy, she can score from anywhere on the court.
Branson just hasn't found the range in the 2 games in Salem so far. A player who is closing in on 2,000 career points.
Great ball movement.
Leads to a look for Adeline Moore with a couple of big 3s in the second half to kill off any hopes of an Oshkosh comeback on Thursday. But Scranton in transition, but there's the stuff at the other end. That's Morgan Press with the defense.
Morgan Press did such a good job using her strength there. I loved how Romanowski pushed the ball in transition, but Press with an even better recovery.
Takeaway for Sloan. Numbers developing here for the Royals. The 3 is on the way. Won't go for LaMonna. Another offensive rebound for Romanowski. LaMonna tries again. That's short.
I love how Romanowski did not let that ball be ripped away from her. She knew she needed to get rid of it quickly. Created another opportunity.
Moore hanging in the lane and hitting.
What a luxury to have a player like Adeline Moore coming in off the bench. Can score like that. Both of these 2 teams struggling a little bit from the outside. 0 of 10 combined from behind the 3-point line. And a lot of that's the defense. The defense speeds you up.
Still nothing from downtown as Katie Gorski misses from the wing.
And you see the tempo of this game. Both teams like to run, both like to push pace.
And Moore's attempt just does graze the iron. Battle for the rebound. Will have a held ball. And the arrow favors Denison.
Not the prettiest game so far, but that's to be expected with defense like this.
2-point lead for the Big Red early stages of the national championship game at the Kreger Center. Big Red of Denison up 6-4 at the under 5 timeout here in the first quarter. Denison seeking the first ever national title. The only other North Coast team to win one is DePaul. Chris Upland's Tigers won in 2007 and 2013. Scranton won the championship in 1985, but seeking the first undefeated season in program history.
So no matter what happens, history will be made today for these two squads. And we've talked a lot about the defense. That's the storyline. Neither team shooting the ball exceptionally well. Credit Denison, they're winning the battle on the boards right now, 12-7.
Big red basketball for Toigo, the senior, most experienced player on the roster, but turns it over here.
That's unlucky for Denison, and again, sometimes when the tempo and the pace is so high, it leads to mental errors like that. The question now for Scranton, can they capitalize? They're just not getting the looks that they want in their half-court offense, and you see the pressure here from Denison trying to force the turnover.
Lady Royals have their two big sparks off the bench in the game now. One of those is Elizabeth Bennett, and she makes her presence known right away.
I thought she was absolutely outstanding in the first half on Thursday. She can shoot the basketball. She's great on the glass. Her leadership and her composure have really been massive for the Lady Royals in this tournament. Sophia Toledo, the landmark Rookie of the Year, is the other bench player. They only used 7 on Thursday in that win against NYU. Another offensive rebound for Denison. Violet Mitchell driving in. Toledo called for the foul, counted for Mitchell. Free throw coming. Mitchell really coming up massive on that play for a number of reasons. First of all, had a great box out, gets the rebound, drives hard to the basket, goes up strong through the contact, was not able to get the best angle on that shot, but still muscles it in with her tremendous strength. She's a 76% free throw shooter, and Violet Mitchell was another player that was a massive factor in the semifinals.
She was not one of the 5 Big Red players who reached double figures. She had 9 points. That incredibly balanced attack from O'Hurt's team, and the win against Oshkosh. So Denison back in front by 2. The 3-point play from Mitchell.
Scranton's trying to set some screens. They're trying to get the looks that they want, and just miscommunication there between LaMotta and Romanowski.
That is the first Scranton turnover of the game. The box score that we ended up with on Thursday, Monica, Oshkosh only had 9 turnovers, but there were so many other occasions where the pressure was just so disruptive that it kept the Titans from playing the way they wanted to.
I thought that was a silver lining in terms of how they handled the basketball, but as you said, the pace of the game got them out of their offensive rhythm, and I think that was a reason that Oshkosh struggled early on. They played much better in the second half. They just could not come back from the deficit.
Denison just got its 6th offensive rebound of the first quarter, but it got canceled out by the turnover. There is Toledo, her first attempt, and again it's Romanowski on the glass.
Romanowski has been a revelation the past 2 games in terms of her ability to get to the ball before anyone else. She just seems to want it more than everyone else at times.
Here's Toledo, shot clock winding down, teardrop no. Mad Toinge controls.
She has those long arms. Look at the pace in transition.
LaMotta got back to deny the fast break look for Molly DeRiggi. And Denison will run a half-court set.
Thought that was a smart decision by Cooch not to force anything. They didn't get the look they wanted, so they'll try again.
Tough basket for Toigo.
The players that come in off the bench for Denison are absolutely sensational. You have Toigo, who was really good on Thursday. You have Adeline Moore. Both of them are massive sparks coming into the game. They can give you instant offense, and you do not lose anything in terms of level of intensity defensively.
13 for Toigo against Oshkosh. That was halfway down for Megan LaMotta. Just wouldn't stick. Quickly up the floor come the Big Red. Riggy the kick. Toigo from outside. Almost got the roll. Another big scrappy battle on a rebound. This time the arrow pointing the Lady Royals' way.
And that's a break for the Lady Royals because the shot's not falling right now. I think that shot that was in and out really sums up the way that things are going, but you see the tenacity from both of these 2 teams. I love the teams with the players battling, going hard to the floor, everyone trying to get the loose ball.
So far, Scranton hasn't really struggled against the full court defense. Bennett left open, missing the tray. Mitchell keeps it alive, gets it to Cooch.
Another heads-up play by Violet Mitchell. Look at the defense, though, by the young first-year Sophia Toledo. She is that big game player. We saw her really step up on Thursday. 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, 5 steals. She has such a diverse skill set, and I think that's one reason why she is going to have a tremendous career.
You saw the numbers a moment ago, both teams struggling from the outside. Ryan Wallace, one of our officials today, along with Angie Arndt and our referee Brittany Lassner, telling us that they're appealing the out-of-bounds call. So we have a video review with just over a minute left in the first quarter.
So we'll take another look here to see which team should have possession here. A little hard to tell there if it was touched by Toledo as it went out of bounds. But I think a really good appeal here because every possession early on has been so critical.
We're watching this over and over again in slow motion. Hard to tell. Both players had their fingertips on the ball. It was who touched it last, Toledo or Cooch.
And that's what the officials are trying to sort out. And as you can tell, taking some time with the review. And I think right there, it looked like Toledo touched it.
So it was called Scranton basketball. This is Mo Hurt appealing.
And you see her point here because it does look like on this replay that it was touched by Toledo. And from this angle, it might be a little harder to tell.
Is there enough to overturn the call that was made on the floor? That's the biggest question I would have.
So again, that angle is a little tough to tell because you can't see head on whether Toledo touched it. The other angle gives you a little bit more of a better perspective. And we'll see if we can see that one more time.
See the Denison huddle there, and Scranton's ready to play. Got a minute 13 left in this opening quarter. Tight, low-scoring affair. Perhaps not unexpectedly, given how good these teams can be on the defensive end. Right before we had the appeal, we popped those three-point shooting numbers. Denison has not hit 1 on 7 since Scranton just 1 for 10 so far. Big Red able to make that up with 10 of their 11 points in the paint here in the opening 8 minutes and 47 seconds.
Again, you see how long the officials are taking to review this. As you said, Jeremy, is there enough evidence to overturn the call on the floor, which was that it is Scranton basketball? And it looked to me, from one of the angles we saw, that Toledo did touch it, but we'll see what the officials determine. That was certainly Mo Hurt's perspective. That is why she has appealed this. And again, I think it was the right decision by the Denison head coach. This is such a close game. These coaches know how important this early momentum is with the +4 advantage for the Big Red.
Have a nice crowd on hand. You've gotten some shots of the stands here at the Prager Center. No lacrosse team in the building today. That was a neat thing we had on Thursday night. The Scranton men's lacrosse squad was in between games in Tennessee and Maryland, made a stop in Virginia to root on the Lady Royals. So a successful appeal, and it is going to be Denison basketball. So the Big Red will get it, and Mo Hurt keeps all of her timeouts.
I think it was the right decision by the officials, as we talked about. It did look like on the replay that it was touched by Toledo. So great job by this crew of officials, and you know we have the best of the best here this weekend calling these games for the Final Four. They
set a couple of screens for Cooch, unable to get that first Denison three-pointer to go down. Comes Kaylee Romanowski. Branson from the outside. Unlucky that time.
Romanowski, though, doing such a good job handling the basketball. We heard her after the game on Thursday talking about how frustrated she was with herself with the 6 turnovers that she had. She wasn't focused on all the rebounds. She was focused on her turnovers and how many points the player she was guarding, Olivia Legal, had. but that's just the type of mentality you have to have as a top-notch Division III women's college basketball player.
Yet another tie-up on a rebound. And Denison looking to add to a 4-point lead. 36 seconds left in the first period. Step back for Cooch, no. Big Red now 0 of 9 from beyond the arc, but they get another offensive rebound.
I think they'd love to get Towdy going. Great defense by LaManna, just getting her hands in there, creating havoc. She's not just a shooter. LaManna does it all.
Second steal already for Megan LaManna. Shot clock turned off here for Scranton. They get the ball back in the hands of number 21. LaManna shut down on the drive, but hits the wide open Bennett, and she beats the buzzer with a three.
Is anyone surprised that Elizabeth Bennett comes up with the big shot at the end of the first quarter? It just sums up how her tournament has been for Scranton.
Steal and assist for Megan LaManna, and the second three-pointer of the opening period for Elizabeth Bennett. 1-point game here in the national championship. Inside the Kreger Center here in Salem, Virginia. Jeremy Franklin along with Monica Moore. We gave you the lead that these are two really good defensive teams. The first 10 minutes showcased how good they can be on that end of the floor.
Well, that's right. And these are also two really good coaching staffs who have watched a lot of film. They know the tendencies of their opponents, and they're working hard to shut them down. It's really interesting. No fast break points for either team. That's the bread and butter for Denison. They love to score in transition. The Big Red right now really winning the battle on the boards, but it's only a +1 advantage in the score. So again, it just tells you these two teams evenly matched, and they're going to have to find different ways to win today.
Branson was double teamed down low, had to get rid of it. Here's Gorski. And Toynge got that from behind. Held ball in the rebound. It will go back to the Big Red.
I continue to be so impressed with Matt Toynge. I don't think she gets the credit that she deserves, and the Denison coaching staff will tell you that with her ability to rebound, with her ability defensively. And you have to remember, she's only a sophomore. She's going to get better and better. Didn't really play that big of a role last year, but I think it's scary to think about what she's going to look like in the next few years of her career. I think she's going to be exceptional.
Probably frightening for anybody who has to play Denison next year to think about all the talent back. Brooke Toigo is the only senior in the rotation. It's a lot of juniors and sophomores, a couple of freshmen. There's a three-pointer for the Big Red, and it's delivered by Abby Cooch.
And that's a great sign for Denison that they're getting some outside shooting, which is something that they've been lacking, and no surprise that it's Abby Cooch who steps up. She's one of the biggest leaders on this team.
Casey Cranston still struggling to get the shots to fall. 0 of 6 from the field now.
And credit the defenders. They're getting a hand in her face. They're altering her shots, disrupting what she does. She's a great shooter.
Tally the miss. Romanowski already has 7 rebounds.
And you see she's so good on the weak side rebound, anticipating, and then she can take the ball strong to the basket. She's one of the best guards you'll see because she can push the ball so quickly up the floor. She's good at handling the ball, not turning it over. The rebounding is just the cherry on top because she brings so much to every facet of the game.
You said earlier she's been a revelation this week, and that's true for anyone from outside the Scranton program, but Coach O'Brien knows exactly what she's capable of.
It's true, but you look at the numbers on the season. She averages 5.5 points per game, 6 rebounds per game. She was well ahead of that on Thursday. I don't think anyone was prepared for the type of game that she was going to have in the semifinals, where she willed her team to victory with her ability to get to the ball, to keep possessions alive, and to do all the little things that her team needed her to do. She was the biggest glue player out on the floor.
14 points, 16 rebounds, 5 steals, and helping Scranton in that long NYU streak. There's Gorski, the defensive play, the block on Ada Towdy. Here's Romanowski again running the floor. LaManna. Matt Toynge came from out of nowhere to take away that transition three.
She moves so well from the post to the outside to defend. Great footwork. She's lightning fast. And the defense once again getting a defensive stop for the Big Red. Their bench has been up on their feet so much in this game because they love the effort they're seeing out of their team on the defensive end.
Only one field goal for Scranton in about 6 minutes of game time now. That was the buzzer-beating 3 from Bennett to close out the first quarter.
Scranton's going to have to find some ways to get the offense going. They've been trying to set some screens to feed the players on the outside, spotting up.
Towdy no, but Matt Toinge rebounds. Molly DiIII misses the 3. And I think we got a foul here on Violet Mitchell.
Jenna Sloan did a good job on the box out. Again, it's the little things, the understanding from a player with the level of experience of Jenna Sloan, who's one of the captains on this Scranton team. Her IQ is so high, and her understanding of the game, a big reason why she creates issues on both ends of the floor.
Only 2 Lady Royal turnovers. Neither has come against the full court defense. Jenna Sloan looking back toward the bench to get the play call. High ball screen from Cranston, who gets it back, gets an opening. Well, it seemed like it was an opening, and there's Mad Toinge again.
I just think she's in her head a little bit right now because the shots aren't falling.
Transition finish for Molly DiIII as Denison stretches the lead to 5.
That's what Denison loves to do. Look at Romanowski, though, pushing the pace.
Still nothing for Cranston, but Bennett crashing the glass.
And Cranston's going to keep shooting the ball. That's what her team needs her to do. Eventually, she's going to find the ability to knock down some of those shots, but she is so mentally tough. Even though the shots aren't falling right now, she's still going to take them when she has the open looks. I thought it was really interesting what Ben O'Brien said in the post-game interview about the fact that she did everything they asked her to do on Thursday. It wasn't her best scoring game, but she knows it's because she draws so much of the defensive attention and she opens things up for others.
LaMotta did get a clean look in transition that time, but it would not go. Back the other way, DiIII missing from the corner.
Good quick ball movement. Both teams struggling a little bit from the outside.
Cranston slowed down by Cooch. Another miss. She's 0 of 9 from the field. This is a player who has scored 1,992 points in her Scranton career.
And I like what she did there because the outside shots aren't falling, so she went for a more mid-range shot. Again, just didn't get the elevation I think that she wanted.
At Toinge, chance at a putback, no. Controlled by LaMotta.
Such a good rebound for LaMotta. You cannot give Denison so many second chance opportunities, and that's something that Scranton's really going to have to tighten up.
Lady Royals have only made 1 of their last 12 shots. Bennett not able to break that streak. Cranston an offensive rebound, fouled before the stick back.
But you see, she's still trying to do the things that she can do for her team to be impactful, whether it's getting a rebound, playing good defense. She's going to come out of the contest right now, but again, she's such a mentally tough player. When she's back out on the floor, she's going to keep taking the shots and doing everything her team needs her to do.
Only 1 point for Scranton so far this period. That was Romanowski at the line. Bennett draws the double. Has the ball knocked away, it comes to Gorski.
Really good defense on the help side for Denison. It's just what they do. Adeline Moore.
We got a player control foul. It's Moore who drew the charge after LaMotta had released the ball.
We talked a lot about her. 11 points, 3 rebounds on Thursday. She's had a very good tournament. Jeremy, you kept talking about the fact that they call her the bulldozer, but she did such a good job anticipating, coming over with the help defense, drawing the foul. Savvy basketball.
A miss from Towdy. Here comes Sophia Toludo. Scranton 4 of 28 from the field. Bennett, a contested miss down low, good defense from Kress.
You see how that shot was disrupted by Kress. She used her body, she did just enough, she didn't commit the foul. Smart defensive play.
Ada Towdy wide open, but too strong on the 3. Looks like we have a Scranton foul on the rebound. That'll take us to a timeout. Denison smothering on the defensive end. The Big Red have a 5-point lead. D3 championship game on the line here at the Kreger Center in Salem, Virginia. Very famous cultural touchstone in Scranton, Pennsylvania, the setting for the beloved television comedy The Office. But hang on, Michael Scott went to Denison.
And you see the Scranton fans with a little bit of a shout out to The Office. So a lot of connections for Steve Carell in this game. Now, during that last huddle, Matt Toyingay was not actually with the team. She was off over on the side. I don't know if she was getting any type of medical attention from the training staff, but she's been such a factor. Already 9 rebounds in this game. You know, Denison feels like they have to have her out on the floor if they can. She's on the bench right now, but again, certainly hope this is nothing that would impact her ability to be in the game today.
3-point shots just not falling with any consistency for either team. You saw the dish from Toigo. Gorski the driving dish. Toludo tries from the outside. That wasn't close.
And you see great rebounding position for Adeline Moore, who continues to do so many things well for Denison. Couldn't make the shot there.
Big Red are now 1 of 16 from 3. Scranton is 2 of 18.
And you know what Scranton's thinking about right now. They're trying to get a good offensive possession. They want a look that they want. I think a good decision to go inside, but look at the defense by Morgan Kress.
Even if Annalie Mad-Toingay is not able to return, that's a pretty good weapon to have backing her up. Another rim protector in number 20.
And this is a player who comes in off the bench and gives you so much in terms of rebounding, in terms of defense. I really like the way that Morgan Kress plays.
Difficult shot will not go for Lamana. Cooch is so dangerous in the open floor, but she's got Kaylee Romanowski for company this time, and number 1 for Scranton makes the play.
That is a marquee matchup right there. You have Abby Cooch, you have Kaylee Romanowski going head-to-head. Fantastic speed by Cooch, but Romanowski getting down the floor defensively. Those have been 2 of the biggest standouts this weekend, and I love that battle.
That's the 2-time landmark defensive player of the year, Kaylee Romanowski. Another empty trip for Denison. They only have 2 field goals this quarter, but Scranton has 0. So we're stuck at 16-11. See, Denison's only made 1 of its last 15 shots, but because they've defended so well, they're still up by 5.
Mohert has 3 subs at the table, including Matt Toyingay. She does such a good job moving players in and out of the game because she knows the tempo is so high. Look at the defense by Lamana. Lady Royals giving the Big Red a taste of their own medicine with the full court pressure. Gorski shrugs off the challenge. We did have a whistle, so that Lamana 3-1 count. They got a Denison foul, I believe, against Kress. And Mohart can't believe it because she thought it was an offensive foul against Scranton. So we'll take another look here. You see Gorski. So Gorski, Mohart thought the shoulder went into Adeline Moore, but the officials on the floor called that a foul against Denison.
So it was Moore and not Kress. Here you see Matt Toyingay able to come back in the game here with 2:43 left in the first half.
You see she has that brace on her right leg. She's been hampered by injuries in her career, so very happy to see her out on the floor again. Hope whatever that was not anything serious.
Ball knocked out of bounds. We'll stay with Scranton. Shot clock at 17. Denison already has successfully appealed an out-of-bounds call. They let this one go. Toludo can't hit. Still nothing from the field for Scranton this quarter.
That was really well executed on the inbounds play, but the shot just didn't fall, and I think that sums up things for Scranton. They have gotten some good looks. They just haven't knocked them down.
DIII, the kick out. Mitchell tries from the outside, and she knocks it down.
And I thought that shot was actually altered. Violet Mitchell had to switch some things up last second, but she still hits it. Violet Mitchell once again coming up clutch for Denison. That was a much-needed basket for the Big Red.
Scoring drought Over 10 minutes long now for Scranton in terms of field goals. LaMotta unsuccessful in trying to end it. And a foul on the Lady Royals after Matt Toyingay secures the rebound.
And I think that's just a little bit of frustration right now for Scranton, because as we talked about, they're getting looks that they want. They want LaMotta taking those shots, because those are the types of shots that she consistently hits. And you see Casey Cranston has just come back into this game. I think they're hoping that perhaps she can provide them with some offense, but they have a fantastic offensive lineup on the floor right now in Bennett, in Cranston, in LaMotta. They've just got to get the looks they want and knock them down.
This is a team that came in second in the country in scoring offense, shooting 46% from the field on the season. But it's been a tough first half for the Lady Royals. They get the takeaway here. Toledo wants to see if there's something in transition. And instead, it's a charge called, and it's Mitchell who got back to make the play.
I don't think Violet Mitchell gets the credit that she deserves for Denison. Mo Hurt says that she's a coach on the floor. Her first year at Denison, she was the 8th person off the bench. The summer before her sophomore year, she worked really hard and got better and better. And you're just seeing that right now. She's a starter for this team. She's the Energizer Bunny. And what an impressive play for the Big Red.
Just the 4th Scranton turnover, but 2 of them have been on player control fouls, and that was number 2 on Sophia Toledo. Just over a minute to go. DIII can't finish. Rebounded by Cranston.
Really good weak side rebound by Casey Cranston. But again, the question for Scranton, can they get anything going? They've been looking for LaMotta with the outside shots. They haven't been going inside very much.
Bennett was trying to set the screen. Denison fought through it. Sloan not a big-time shooter, but she'll pull up, miss the mid-range. Rebound controlled by Romanowski, fresh 20 for Scranton.
And they are going to back off of Sloan a little bit because they know she doesn't like to take those shots.
Cranston, there's the double. Still nothing in this game for Casey Cranston. Shot clock turned off here for Denison.
She did not have a good look there because of the defense. She was having to shoot the ball over Mad Toyingay. And now for Denison, if they could get another bucket before the end of this first half, they have all the momentum.
Mad Toyingay gets the whistle and will head to the line. I believe that's going to be 2 on Elizabeth Bennett.
You see Mad Toyingay, she wants the basketball. She's calling for it. Good things happen when she touches it. Even if she doesn't take the shot, she can kick it out to an open shooter. That time she draws the foul. She's a 59% free throw shooter. I think it's been a really good first half for Mad Toyingay.
9 rebounds already. 1 field goal so far.
But just think about all the shots that she has altered. She's a big part of the reason that Scranton has struggled so much from the floor.
Is there time here for the Lady Royals? They could use something to go into halftime. LaMotta is off the mark. 1 point for the Lady Royals of Scranton in the second quarter. How good was Denison on the defensive end?
We knew that defense was going to be the biggest factor. I just don't know if we knew it was going to be this big of a factor to anticipate this low scoring of a game. But these are 2 exceptional coaches. I cannot wait to see the adjustments for the second half.
Speaking of exceptional coaches, Ben O'Brien is with us now, and coach, a very tough offensive first half for your team. Just what was Denison doing that was giving your squad problems?
Yeah, they're a really good defensive team. So our defense kept us in it there. You like to believe that at some point the percentages will start to work themselves out and our shots will start to fall. So we're going to keep on playing defense. We're going to keep on rebounding, and we're going to keep on taking our shots.
Coach, any specific adjustments you're looking to make for the second half?
I think we just need a shot to go in. I think that's the biggest thing. I think we just need to see one go in. And I think once we do that, we'll be fine.
Coach, thank you for your time. Best of luck in the second half today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's Ben O'Brien, the D3Hoops.com National Coach of the Year, guiding Scranton back to its first national championship appearance since 1985. But it's Denison making its first ever trip to the title game, on top by 8. Halftime here in Salem, Virginia. Take a look at some of the action from the first 2 quarters of the title game. As you said, nothing coming easy, even just moving the ball around the perimeter.
Hands were everywhere in the passing lanes, disrupting, knocking balls loose. Everyone was diving on the floor for loose balls. Again, this is the type of mentality that both of these coaching staffs preach, and that's what we saw. I thought the charges that were drawn were tremendous. That's what you have to do if you want to win a game like this. You have to sacrifice your body. You have to be first to the ball. You cannot take a play off. So I think both coaches have to be really happy with what they're seeing defensively. And you heard from both coaches, they're going to have to make some adjustments. Offensively, they're going to look to get some things going. And I think if either one of these teams can get off to a good start offensively in the second half, that's going to tell you a lot of the story for how this game's going to go.
Numbers bear out what we saw on the scoreboard, and with our highlight package there, it has been very difficult for either team to get the ball in the basket so far in this game.
And the number that really jumps out to me is the paint points, the more high percentage looks. Denison has done a good job with that. I thought Violet Mitchell in particular was very good in the first half. She's leading her team in scoring right now. I thought her defense was exceptional. And so I think if Denison can look to get more of those paint points, that could be big for them.
Scranton in search of its second national title in program history. The first came 41 years ago, back in the national semifinals for the 10-time, which is their second championship game appearance. So what are we playing for here today? Scranton looking for that first undefeated season along with the national title. And for Denison, the Big Red had never won more than one NCAA tournament game in a single go. Now they won 5, and they have the lead in the 6th with the championship on the line.
And it's interesting, Jeremy, because you made the point, too, that Denison will have a lot returning. So they've looked really good in this tournament so far. And obviously they want to win this national championship. But that is one benefit that Mohert and her staff have. They have a lot of players coming back who've had this experience, but they know that they have 20 big minutes ahead of them where they want to play their absolute best basketball.
She told us she wanted to convey to her team, we belong here. Let's not wait for next year. This is our opportunity. They went on the road to beat an undefeated Washington Elite team at the quarterfinal. They've got the lead on another unbeaten team here in the title game. They'll have the basketball to begin the second half.
And I think that's a really good point, Jeremy, that coming into this weekend, they really faced a tough sectionals round, and I think that's helped.
Abby Cooch with the bucket to open up the third quarter. It's a 10-point lead for Denison.
I think that's exactly what Denison wanted. They wanted to get a really good high percentage shot to fall in the opening seconds of this third quarter to really set the tone, and now they want to lock in defensively.
Scranton's last field goal was a buzzer beater at the end of the first quarter. Casey Cranston is fouled on the drive here, and she'll try to get on the board at the line.
And I think this was an action that was designed by Ben O'Brien and his staff. They wanted for her to get a quick early look, drawing up some things for her, not necessarily an outside shot, but driving to the basket, drawing the contact, and she makes the free throw.
Averaging 17.9 points per game, the two-time landmark player of the year. And again, getting close to 2,000. Her collegiate career. That is not a number you see very often at the D3 level where you only get to play 25 regular season games.
You wonder if those 2 free throws will now get Casey Cranston going. She's one of the best players to ever play at Scranton. Look at Romanowski.
The press gets Scranton going their first field goal since the end of the first quarter. A little burst from the Lady Royals there within 6.
You heard Mohert talking about Kaylee Romanowski. They're worried about number 1 in white because she can do so much. She is so scrappy, turning her defense into offense.
Violet Mitchell gets it down low. The kick out for DIII. Back to Mitchell, 9 to shoot.
Really good defense by Scranton.
Can Cooch create here? Mitchell, tough 3. Gorski got a piece. It was going to be a turnover one way or another. Scranton basketball. The Lady Royals bringing the energy early in the second half.
I thought Jenna Sloan was really good on that possession. Look at Romanowski again, just getting her hands in there, knocking the ball loose. The good finish. Scranton with a whole lot of momentum to start this third quarter.
Scranton from the outside. Still can't get a shot to drop from the field. Offensive rebound, Gorski. Another look for Cranston. That will not go either. Romanowski getting in there to tie up Matt Toynge, and the Lady Royals have the arrow.
I think this is a big part of the strategy for Scranton, though. They're trying to get Casey Cranston going. They know that if they can get her into an offensive rhythm, that is going to mean very good things for them. But a scary sign right here is Kaylee Romanowski went down very hard on the ground. She looks to be okay. And the one thing we know about Kaylee Romanowski is there is no one on the floor that is tougher than Kaylee Romanowski.
Hopefully not too serious. In fact, Romanowski stays in the game. The team has pulled within 6. Chance to make it even closer. Gorski all alone from the outside and nails the 3.
It all started with the inbounds play. It was a great no-look pass by Romanowski. She's absolutely perfected it. And then Gorski buries the shot. She can knock down that shot. She has that in her range, and Scranton right now is on fire.
7-0 run. Romanowski just blocked the 6'3" Matt Toynge. Denison recycles the ball. Mitchell misses, and Jenna Sloan's got it. 3 would tie it here. Romanowski sets up the look for Gorski. No good. Cranston, the stick back, finally has a field goal. It's a 1-point game.
What a start to this third quarter for Scranton. I love the mental toughness of this team. They're going to force a timeout. This building is so loud and so electric right now with the Scranton fans.
9 unanswered from the Lady Royals, and we got a ball game here in the National Championship in Salem. Scranton head coach Ben O'Brien told us at halftime, this team just needed to hit some shots. Seeing the ball go through the basket a couple of times has really brought this Lady Royals offense back to life.
They are 3 of 6 to start out this third quarter and showing you they can score in different ways. Look at the offensive rebound by Cranston. They scored in transition with Romanowski off her defense. They scored the long-range shot from Gorski. And you have to love the composure of Scranton. It all starts with Ben O'Brien. He's so stoic when you talk to him. You don't see any emotion. And that's what his players have looked like throughout this game. They don't get too high. They don't get too low. It is just business out on the floor. And I think that mindset has fueled them in this third quarter.
Illegal screen called on not only Matt Toynge, but Denison pressing. Got the ball free, but could not pick it up. Chance for Scranton to take its first lead since it was 7-6.
And again, we've seen them run a lot of plays for Casey Cranston to start this third quarter. We'll see if they try to find her.
They do. Matt Toynge, the defender. Cranston attacking. Matt Toynge got some of the ball, but some of Cranston's arm as well, and she'll head to the line.
Seems pretty clear what Ben O'Brien has drawn up for this third quarter is he wants her going inside, using her skill, using her intelligence to draw contact, to get some offense going. Then the outside shots will come. This is well designed by Coach O'Brien. You see him talking right there with Romanowski. It's been a very good start to this third quarter for Casey Cranston.
Almost did not end up playing basketball at the collegiate level. She was a softball recruit, hometown product from Scranton, PA, was planning to play a spring sport. When Ben O'Brien got the job, he talked her into coming out playing basketball, and the rest is history.
He did, and the best thing about that story is he tells us that the Scranton softball coach does still talk to him, even though Casey Cranston decided not to play softball and to focus on basketball.
Toygo missing the 3, already 11 more rebounds for Kaylee Romanowski. Coast to coast, but missed the layup. Here's Cranston crashing in. Romanowski ends up with it. LaMotta tries the 3, that will not go.
But you can't give Scranton that many opportunities. That was something that Mo Hurt talked about at halftime. We heard her saying you have to keep them off the glass. Romanowski has been very good at getting those second and third chance opportunities.
Denison hanging on to the lead just barely right now with those 9 straight Scranton points. Kress muscles it up, no, and then gets called for the foul and the rebound.
I think Katie Gorski has been very good at the start of this third quarter as well. It has not just been Casey Cranston. Gorski knocked down that big three. She's been battling hard on the inside. Such a luxury to have a player like her because she can knock down the outside shot. She's so good in the interior. She's a mismatch problem for a lot of teams, and I wonder if Scranton can exploit that a little bit in the second half.
As the 1 3-pointer, here's Gorski attacking and getting denied by Kress. As Adelaide Moore went down hard.
Very good defense from Denison. Scranton wanted to see a foul call there, didn't get it.
Here's Moore, nothing doing against Romanowski.
The defense is just so good. These players are so savvy. They don't commit a lot of fouls because they don't try to do too much. They just try to alter the shots or to tie up the ball. Very good timing for both of these teams.
Gorski from the outside, in and out. Romanowski again grabs an offensive rebound. Now they get a look inside. Cranston the post up, draws the foul.
And again, you see they want Cranston on the interior, drawing the contact, heading to the free throw line. She can beat you in lots of different ways. The outside shots aren't falling, so they're going inside. This is her third time drawing a foul and heading to the free throw line in this third quarter alone.
Just expected that at some point she was going to be a factor this weekend. They did not need her to score against NYU on Thursday, but they needed a lift here on offense. And Cranston is providing exactly that.
And again, well designed by the Scranton coaching staff. They wanted a way to try to provide her with some instant offense, a very good strategy. This is why Ben O'Brien is the D3 Hoops Coach of the Year.
Kaylee Romanowski getting patched up over on the sideline.
It's a little surprising to me. It's the first time we've seen her have to go over and get taped up in this game because she is everywhere. She's so blue collar in the way that she plays on the ground, getting her hands in the passing lanes. She's lightning quick up the floor, has been one of the best rebounding options. A little blood on the jersey, so they're going to have to take care of that. But you have to imagine we're going to see her back just as quickly as the trainers can get her on the floor.
Cranston's still not shooting the ball like we're accustomed to. She's missed 3 straight free throws. This is an 81% foul shooter on the year. Missed 2 more.
Unfortunate for Scranton, because again, that's what they want. That's what they've drawn up here. They want her at the free throw line. And now they have to play good defense because Denison very hungry for a basket right now.
And Mitchell draws the contact against Jenna Sloan.
She's just so good at attacking the rim.
Free throws for Violet Mitchell when we come back. Denison hanging on to the lead, a 1-point advantage over Scranton. Earlier today here at the Kreger Center, 20 outstanding student athletes from all corners of the country competed in the WBCA Senior All-Star Game. Had a lot of fun covering some of these great student athletes, including Mary Slicer, who set Division III career records for rebounding and double-doubles, and a little dunk action at the end of that contest. See a couple of the other All-Stars spectating here. Had a chance to speak one-on-one with everybody. You got a future PhD in chemistry, a future federal judge, players who want to play basketball overseas. Just saw the best and brightest of Division III. Why we love covering these games.
It's absolutely true, and they had a big role in the national anthem. Before the game, they brought the flag out collectively, a massive American flag. It was really a beautiful moment, very fitting, and it's just so special having them here this weekend because, as you said, it sums up all the best things about Division III women's college basketball.
There has been a lid on the rim at times in this game. More free throw misses, this time from Violet Mitchell of Denison. The Big Reds scored on their opening possession of the third quarter, nothing since. Scranton on a 9-0 run, but it's been a while since they put the ball through the basket. And now we got a held ball, and it's going back the other way.
And I think for Denison, they get the important defensive stop, but now they have to find a high percentage look on their offensive end of the floor the shot's just not going. They're not getting the looks that they want in this third quarter. So we'll see what they've drawn up. You see they like the ball in Abby Cooch's hands because she's the great decision maker.
She could be a pretty good scorer as well. Calls her own number and breaks the Denison drought.
It was a great decision. She got the ball up high on that look. You can tell how many times she's practiced that play, and now they're trying to force the turnover. When you get that made basket, it gives you an opportunity to set up the press. It's what Denison does.
But they pick up the foul here, and they are over the limit. So that means Megan Lamanna will be headed to the free throw line.
Casey Cranston's going to come back in. She got a little bit of a rest. Now she'll come back out on the floor. And again, I would imagine offensively, they're going to continue to try to feed her for Scranton because it has been the game plan in this second half. Lamanna, not the player you want to put on the free throw line, even though she misses the first. That really sums up this game as well. Both teams struggling so much offensively. She's a 73% shooter, and she's one of the purest shooters that you're going to find on the floor.
Does get the second to go. That breaks a string of 7 straight free throw misses combined between the two teams. And it's 23-21 Denison now. 4 minutes left here in the third. DIII kicks out to Mitchell. Airmails the 3. Romanowski, that's her 14th rebound of this game. It's her 30th board of championship weekend.
And again, she just wants the ball. She knows where it's going.
Through the rim that time, Romanowski ties the score.
You see Cooch looking to take over. Great defense by Romanowski. She never takes a play off. She knocks the ball loose after the big play on the other end. She's just tireless. Take a look at this, rushing back, great timing. I don't even think Cooch knew she was behind her. What a performance by Kaylee Romanowski.
Without a doubt, the best defensive player that Ben O'Brien has ever coached, in his own words there. And Scranton completes the stop. The Lady Royals again looking for their first lead.
And I think
since the first period.
For Denison, they would love to get DIII going. She has been uncharacteristically quiet in this game. And credit Scranton because I know she's been a big focus of their scouting report. But this is a player who in sectionals scored 24 points in both of those games. And so she is one of the best offensive options that they have. And she's just not even getting a lot of looks right now for Denison. She is 1 of 9 from the floor, only has 2 points.
Most came back in the first quarter. So Scranton had come all the way back from a double-digit deficit to take the lead.
And it's been a whole lot of Kaylee Romanowski.
6 points in the period, and it's 25-23 in the Lady Royals' favor.
But it's not just the scoring. You've talked about the rebounding. She has 2 steals, she has 2 blocks, and she's disrupted a lot more. She gets down the court so quickly. She's doing a great job denying Cooch the basketball.
You wanted DIII to get involved right on cue. She buries the 3.
That is exactly what Denison needed. She is one of their best scoring options. I don't think she's had enough shots.
Mad Toyin gave the emphatic swat on Romanowski.
Big momentum play.
Well, Towdy might pull the trigger on another 3. Instead, looking to go inside to Mad Toyin. And that's Toludo to the deck. Looks like Denison got the ball back and got a timeout in.
Take another look. We were just talking about her. DIII stepping up offensively, and then on the other end, Mad Toyin doing what she does so well. That is a big block for the sophomore, but you see Ben O'Brien very upset about that last call. There's a lot of contact going on. Denison got the timeout. He is pleading his case to the officials. He feels like his team was really getting some momentum. Now Denison has retaken the lead. And again, I'd love to see DIII get more offensive looks.
Coach O'Brien, I think, upset because he did not think there was clear possession for Denison and the ability to call a timeout there. That's what he was pleading his case with our referee, Brittany Lassiter. 1-point lead for the Big Red, just over 2.5 to go, third quarter of the title game. Got some life in the building again. Combination of some shots going in, and Matt Toynge making the big defensive play.
Great defense by Bennett, denying Matt Toynge the ball. And again, you know she's watched a lot of film. She understands these inbound plays that Denison likes to run. Smart play by Elizabeth Bennett.
They're going to go to the monitor here. The call on the floor was Scranton basketball, so the Big Red will appeal. They were successful in getting an out-of-bounds call overturned in the first half.
So why not try it again? And we'll see if we can see on this replay which team should have possession. But so again, a Denison coach's appeal. Mo Hurt uses these situations so well.
Just getting confirmation that call on the floor was Lady Royal basketball, and Denison is appealing. You can see Abby Cooch passing that to the corner. They're going to win this. That's clearly out off of Sophia Toledo. Shouldn't take them long to change the call here.
It should not. And this was right in front of the Denison bench. So you can see exactly what Mo Hurt saw. You can see it on the replay right there. Every angle clearly touched by Toledo. So I agree. I don't think this is going to require a lot of discussion. In fact, the officials are already talking about it together, not reviewing the film, but discussing it.
There will also be a shot clock question too, because the possession clock currently showing 28. So that's the other thing they would have to look at here. If they are going to overturn this, as they think, and we think they will, and give Denison the basketball. 2:30 left, third quarter of the Division III championship game here on the campus of Roanoke College. City of Salem, always incredible host here. They've done this well over 100 times for NCAA championship events. Coach O'Brien huddling up his team, probably going to be back on defense after the review.
As we talked about, every possession so critical right now. This is such a close game. Credit Scranton for the adjustments that they have made in this second half. You can see why Ben O'Brien is one of the best coaches in the business. You don't see a lot of emotion from him. He's just always thinking about how to help his team be successful. He always has a plan. He always has an option. So we get another look here. The defense, ball is loose.
And multiple deflections by Scranton on that sequence, but it looked from our vantage point like it was pretty clearly touch last by Sophia Toledo. It's still a little bit of a gamble for Mo Hurt here. Unlike some large D1 coaching staffs, you don't have a video coordinator at the D3 level who's looking at the film right behind you, can say, review this, appeal this, etc., etc. I know it happened right in front of the Denison bench, but they only have 2 timeouts remaining, and those are going to be pretty valuable in such a close game.
It is true, and it's always a gamble when you use these appeals, but as we talked about, the possessions are just so important. And I think that Mo Hurt, she is such an experienced coach, and she's used them very well so far in this game.
Being told that they're also looking at the clock and presumably the shot clock as well. About to get the verdict here from Brian Wallace. So confirmation that it's another successful out-of-bounds appeal from Maureen Hurt and the Denison bench. And they have adjusted the shot clock to 18.
You see Ben O'Brien talking with his players who are actually on the bench right now. Jeremy, you've talked about the fact that Scranton does not go very deep in their bench. They only play about 7 players right now. Gorski and Sloan are on the bench, and Ben O'Brien making sure they know exactly what he needs them to do when they get back out on the floor.
Only the 2 bench players used on Thursday. Same thing so far today. That tight rotation as Scranton tries to cap off an undefeated season. Towdy too strong. And Yet another rebound for Romanowski, but Moore took the ball away and converts.
Look at how she uses her body and her strength to convert, absorbs the contact, does not get disrupted. She's so good.
Bennett from the outside won't go. 2 minutes left in the third. The Big Red have it up by 3. Moore, transition 3 off the back iron.
A really good rebound there by Lamanna as she tries to keep Denison off the glass. She knows how good they are at getting those offensive rebounds. I continue to be so impressed when Toigo and Moore come into the game.
Casey Cranston ties it with a triple.
We knew it was going to happen. We knew she was going to start to get into the rhythm. And again, this was designed in this third quarter to help her get some good looks, to take the ball inside, to get her in a rhythm. And you're seeing it's starting to happen for Scranton.
Towdy from beyond the arc, no. Rebound collected by Lamanna.
Lamanna doing a really good job on the glass as of late.
Cranston wants it inside. The floater up, no good.
But that's exactly what Scranton wanted on that possession. Just had to force the shot a little bit.
Towdy running the floor, gets the bucket.
Denison using their speed and quickness up the court. Scranton has to make sure they get back defensively. You cannot allow Towdy to get baskets like that.
Romanowski around the ball screen. Cranston shooting for 2,000 and the lead, and she's got it.
So well designed. Set play right there. Sets the screen, gets the ball back, knocks down the shot. Casey Cranston has found her rhythm.
10 points here in the third quarter, and a 1-point edge for Scranton. Now the 6-second differential between the shot and game clocks. What a take by Ada Towdy to answer.
Both teams are going with their big-time offensive options right now. Scranton is looking to Cranston. Denison is looking to Towdy. They are going for those big high-percentage options.
Unofficially 2002 career points for Casey Cranston. Briefly gave her team the lead, Monica, because Ada Towdy had the response.
And I love that out of Ada Towdy. She's not had her best game either, but she's going to keep creating looks for herself. And you see, despite the fact that she's not shooting the ball very well, she still has 9 points. Really good pressure right here by the Big Red.
Final seconds of the period. Romanowski, the kick out. Lamanna from the outside. That's good. It's another buzzer-beating 3 from Scranton, and this national championship game has come to life.
This is what Scranton wanted, and again, they're going to rely on their top-notch shooters, Lamanna and Cranston, such good options.
Another lead change at the end of the quarter as Megan Lamanna cans the 3. It's Scranton up by 1 with 10 minutes left. Start of the fourth quarter in Salem. Ada Towdy, an ACL tear in the first game of her sophomore season last year. She has returned with a vengeance. A terrific junior campaign and a great third quarter as Denison had to match Scranton blow for blow.
That's right. She didn't have the first half that she wanted, but her team was getting her the basketball. She scored in lots of different ways. She showed a lot of composure, as we talked about. Last weekend, she had 24 points in both of the contests. She is a big-time scorer. Now, she's at the top of the scouting report. Teams focus in on her, but Denison would love to get her more looks here in this fourth quarter.
You saw the line score, though. 1 point in the second quarter for the Lady Royals, 23 in the third. Megan Lamanna hit the buzzer-beating 3. Elizabeth Bennett had one of those in the first quarter. Bennett just punched that ball back to Kaylee Romanowski, beg your pardon. Here's a reset for Scranton with the shot clock at 10. Floater off the glass and good for Lamanna.
Whatever it takes right now to get the job done. I like the heads-up play by Bennett. We talked about how savvy she is. She just understands the game so well.
Towdy, another drive. This one's short. Offensive rebound press. Comes back out to Cooch, and she rattles on the 3.
such composure by Gooch. She wanted the basketball. She took that shot with so much confidence. Now both teams are starting to turn it up offensively, getting into their rhythm, getting the shots they want.
Another one goes down. This is for Elizabeth Bennett.
She hit that big three-pointer in the first half, which was such a difference maker. All of a sudden, it's all about the offense, less about the defense, but I think both teams are not going to want to rush things. That's the biggest thing they want to focus on. They want to value every possession.
So we go off the back iron. Great rebound by Lamanna.
She did a great job shielding the ball with her body, not allowing hands to get in there to knock the ball loose.
Toledo just had it slip out of her hands, it looked like there, and went right to press.
It's just unlucky for Toledo.
Cooch, same spot, same result, nothing but that. We're tied at 39.
A little bit of a heat check there. I think she thought about it for a second in terms of whether she wanted to take it. She's knocked down that shot a ton in her career. Abby Cooch is giving Denison a huge lift.
Night and day with the offensive performances, first half to second half. And we're knotted up with 8 minutes to go. Bennett unable to hit, and then Gorski with the foul on the rebound.
It's unlucky for Gorski. I think just a little out of control there. Did not mean to commit that foul. But take another look at Abby Cooch shooting the ball with so much confidence. This is what she does. She's good at knocking down the three. She's good at scoring in transition. That's why she's such a deadly guard out on the floor. She averages 13.3 points per game. She's first team all NCAA for the third consecutive year. You can see why.
Turnover forced by Scranton. Back the other way comes Megan Lamanna. Molly DiIII back on the floor with 3 personals. Lamanna, floater is short. Matt Toyingay collects her 14th rebound.
Give DiIII a lot of credit. She disrupted that shot, used her body very well, didn't commit the foul.
Towdy from the wing. That's good.
She knew it. The moment it left her hands, she got the perfect arc and the perfect rotation. And it is a good sign for Denison that Ada Towdy is starting to shoot the basketball so well.
Abby Cooch knocked down a couple. Now Ada Towdy delivers the 3rd consecutive 3-ball for Denison, the Big Red. Take a 3-point lead. This junior class for Denison, a big part of the Big Reds. Turnaround the last couple of years. We talked Ada Towdy coming into the 4th quarter, and then Abby Cooch. What a difference between halves. The shots are falling for the Virginia native.
Well, Mo Hurt will tell you that she's one of the most competitive kids that Coach Hurt has ever been around. So you knew that Abby Cooch was going to step up in this second half for her team. It is what she's done. It's been a tale of 2 halves. The first half, 1 of 8 from the floor, only 3 points. The second half, she has been picture perfect, absolutely on fire.
Denison up by 3. Romanowski lost her footing, lost the basketball, and it will belong to the Big Red.
That's unlucky. But I like what she did there because she intentionally pushed that out of bounds because she did not want to allow Denison to get anything in transition. Really smart play there by Romanowski. But now for Denison, this is the moment you have to capitalize. You have to build off of the momentum. Cooch and Towdy have had the hot hands, but they also have more out on the floor. Matt Toyingay, good option on the interior.
One-on-one, gets around Bennett and scores.
Great footwork by Amelie Matt Toyingay. Again, I really love her game, and I talked about this on Thursday. Her upside is so high.
And there is the Denison pressure wreaking havoc as Scranton throws the ball away.
And once again, for Denison, you want to capitalize here. You get the defensive stop. Your opponent makes a mistake. You have to score on the offensive end.
Got a 5-point lead after the 3 from Towdy. And the bucket for Matt Toyingay. It's part of an overall 8-0 Denison run. Here's Towdy getting to the rim, too strong, controlled by Bennett.
They wanted her to take that look, though. They wanted her to go aggressively to the rim.
she'll get it off a steal. The double team came from Townie and Moore. Denison up by 7. And a big red foul at the other end. But momentum has swung back to the team from Granville, Ohio.
It is a 10-0 Denison run, and you see the bread and butter for the Big Red is their defensive intensity. It goes right into the hands of Ada Townie, and Ada Townie is turning it up an extra notch in the second half of this game for the Big Red.
13 of her 15 have come since the break. Scranton needs an answer here. Maybe Cranton will be the one to provide it. Sloan left open. She has to take it, but cannot hit.
And look at Townie on the glass. It was a great job by DIII rushing up the floor, but Townie did not want to risk turning the ball over. She wants to value this offensive possession. She understands because she's experienced.
The cut from Cooch defined for Moore, and Denison leads by 9.
That is great off-ball movement from Abby Cooch, and what a find by her teammates. They are so unselfish.
The Lady Royals needed that from Lamanna. They don't get it. And Denison has retaken control of this game.
And now it's Townie on the glass as well. She's doing a little bit of everything for Denison. It's what great players do. This is why she's an All-American. She has really played like it in the second half of this game.
Midway point of the period. Shot clock winding down. Step back for Townie. Short.
Great job by Matt Toyingay setting the screen, creating the look. But now for Scranton, they need a good offensive possession here. They've not been able to get into a rhythm over this big run from Denison. And they're going to have to survive the pressure that they know is coming.
Held to 11 points in the first half. They poured in 23 in the third quarter. But they've gone cold again. Branson against Moore. Will not go. Battle for the rebound. Bennett secures it. 20-second reset for the Lady Royals. Branson from the elbow. That's short.
And again, they want her taking those shots. They're just not falling. And Jeremy, you just mentioned that Bennett got the rebound, but it was really created by Romanowski, who disrupted things. She just does these little things that don't show up in the box score. But to me, her effort and hustle has been a big thing keeping Scranton in this game.
The Lady Royals trying to break a scoring drought. They took a 39-36 lead at the 9:03 mark on a Bennett three-pointer. Since then, 12 unanswered from the Big Red. Post up for Bennett. Swung it away by Matt Toyingay.
Look at that outlet pass by Matt Toyingay. She understands the transition so well.
DIII missed the shot, got her own rebound, and gets fouled.
You're just seeing these great hustle plays by Denison right now. Take a look at the timing. Matt Toyingay, she alters so much, able to disrupt that shot, then gets the quick outlet pass, getting her team off in transition. I think she's the X factor for Denison. A lot of teams just don't have players like her that do what she does defensively on the glass. She's outstanding on the floor.
Third block of the game. Cooch from the outside, not this time.
I feel like if that one had fallen, it would have been an absolute dagger. I love the emotion out of Sophia Toludo. She is not playing like a freshman, and it's the end of her freshman year, so you would expect she's not playing like a freshman anymore. She wants this game just as much as the upperclassmen. Great intensity and emotion out of the Scranton first year.
They are sending the teams to the benches to take a look at something, perhaps foul-related. Stoppage with 4:06 left in the fourth quarter, and Denison, Monica, in the midst of a 12-0 scoring run. So there was a foul called on Adeline Moore of Denison, and they are looking at this for a possible upgrade to a flagrant.
Good look there at the Denison bench. We'll take another look here. Look at Romanowski. I just could not be more impressed with her, but the play was away from the ball, more on the left side of the screen. against Toledo, and that's the issue. Was there that extra contact and shove of Sophia Toledo? So
in the meantime, Monica, it's been almost 5 minutes without a point for Scranton. Denison with those 12 unanswered.
And really credit what Denison has been able to do, because as good as the offense has been in terms of scoring the basketball, defensively, they've been exceptional. They've made the adjustment. They know that Scranton wants the ball in the hands of Casey Cranston, and they know that Cranston wants to take the ball to the basket, so they've been defending that very well. They are such a well-coached and disciplined team. Every adjustment Scranton makes, Mo Hurt and her staff make the counter adjustment, and it has worked so well for Denison. It's a big reason that they have this lead right now.
Huge second half for Abby Cooch. 15 total points, 12 of those since the break. Denison, as we've told you, had never won more than a single NCAA tournament game in one season before. So they had not even reached the round of 16, much less the national semifinals, much less the championship game. And as it stands right now, they're just over 4 minutes away from cutting down the nets in Salem. Work to do, and if this is upgraded to a flagrant foul, it would be 2 shots plus the basketball for Scranton.
So a very big call coming up by the officials. There have been a number of reviews in this contest, and now they're conferring at half court. So for Scranton, to get the 2 shots, to get the basketball, could really swing the momentum in the Lady Royals' favor. And again, just credit Sophia Toledo for what she was able to do.
So the call will stand, just a common foul on Adeline Moore. It is her 4th personal, but no flagrant, no upgrade, and it will just be Scranton basketball, no free throws.
And I agree with that call. I don't think that there was enough there to upgrade the foul to a flagrant foul. You see Adeline Moore on the bench right now. As you said, she is in foul trouble, so that is a factor for Denison because she brings so much in terms of scoring and defense off the bench for the Big Red.
So approaching the final 4 minutes with the Division III title on the line. A 9-point lead for the Big Red. From Denison University, Bennett for 3, will not go. And rebound secured by Towdy as Cooch goes flying.
And that was a whole lot of Abby Cooch. We've talked a lot about Romanowski, but Abby Cooch is that player for Denison. The all-out hustle plays. She just wants the ball. She goes after it, creates so much, even when she doesn't have the basketball.
Cooch eyeing the rim, 7 on the shot clock. What a reel-in by Mad Toyingay. Can she get something up? Yes, she can, and she will score.
Again, it's such a luxury to have her length and her wingspan because she gets to a lot of balls that no one else can because of her reach.
Romanowski the finish. Denison had just taken its largest lead of the game and a much-needed answer from the Lady Royals.
And that's because they trusted that she was going to run the floor and be there to make that shot.
Back in 30 here to Salem. You see the past 6 Division III national champions. NYU's bid for a 3rd straight was ended at the hands of Scranton. And the semifinal round on Thursday. And now it will either be the Lady Royals winning their 2nd ever national title, or right now looking like we might see the first for the Big Red. 3:07 left, Monica. Denison up by 9.
I think what's been so impressive about what Denison has done is they survived what Scranton was able to throw at them at the beginning of the 3rd quarter. I thought the adjustments that Ben O'Brien made were very good. He had a very clear game plan coming into this 2nd half, but then Denison adjusted, and they've been able to knock down the shots more consistently, which has been the biggest factor in this contest.
That layup from Kaylee Romanowski ended a string of 14 consecutive Denison points. Still a nice cushion for the Big Red. They break some Scranton pressure. Will they still play fast? It looks like maybe Mohurt's team will slow the game down, try to limit the number of possessions down the stretch.
I think a smart decision here. They understand how good of an offensive team Scranton is, despite the fact that they haven't hit the shots today.
Matchup zone from the Lady Royals. Shot clock winding down. Towdy, a deep three, will not go. LaMotta's got it.
Really good rebound and great box out by LaMotta. But now this is a critical offensive possession for Scranton. You know they'd love for Cranston to be available or LaMotta. Those are their two most consistent shooters from up top.
LaMotta trying to turn the corner around. Mad Toingay, no. Cranston put back. She's fouled.
Really nice job on the glass by Casey Cranston. Again, today has not been the offensive day that she's wanted, but I think where she's done a really good job is on the rebounding end. She has really wanted the basketball. That is her 9th rebound. She averages 5.4 on the season. She's finding other ways to help her team in this game.
And she has not seen the foul shots go down. That is an 81% shooter with her 5th consecutive miss at the charity stripe.
And this is tough because this is what Scranton wants. They wanted to put her on the free throw line because she has been so consistent on the season. It just hasn't been her day.
Another miss, so points left on the table, and the Denison lead stays at 9.
And we'll see here if they go for a longer possession. Once again, try to shorten this game. They have good ball handlers, experienced guards along the perimeter.
Under 2 to go. Towdy working on Cranston. The kick out for Mitchell. Inside, Mad Toingay throws it away.
She thought she had a player there. She didn't have the player in her vision, but she thought that was where the player was supposed to be. So that is a tough break for Denison, but they do run a little time off of the clock with that possession.
Took about 26 seconds off the game clock, so not a completely empty possession in that regard. Scranton needs a spark here. Can Bennett provide it from the outside? Missed 3. Towdy with her 10th rebound. Just over 90 seconds left. Denison with the basketball.
And that's an action that they really like, to have the intended shooter set the screen, then pop out behind the three-point line. And with Scranton being down by 9, you have to imagine we're going to see that quite a bit. They know they have good outside shooters in Bennett, in Cranston, and certainly in LaMotta. The shots just haven't been falling. And interestingly, Bennett and Cranston both going to go out right now. We'll see if they're able to get them back in on the offensive end.
Got a timeout taken. We will keep it right here with 1:27 to go. Denison trying to hold off Scranton down the stretch. You see the foul count. That was the 3rd team foul from the Lady Royals, so 2 more to get Denison into the bonus. We've been impressed with this Big Red team all season long. They started 17-0. Watched them up the road in Lexington last weekend, beat their North Coast rivals John Carroll. Knocked off an undefeated Washington Lee team on its home floor. They've been prepared for this kind of environment. They've been prepared for the run that we knew was coming from Scranton.
What I was so impressed with, you just saw their huddle on your screen, and it was Matt Toingay in the huddle who was talking with so much emotion. This is a sophomore who's really bought into everything her coaching staff has asked her to do this year. We've talked about her play on the floor, but now we're really seeing that leadership from her, and that comes from the top. Mo Hurt has helped this team become very player-led out on the floor, and I really love what we're seeing out of them in terms of the leadership.
Lady Royals having to gamble with the press. Denison, a high-stakes game of keep away with a minute and change to go in the national championship.
And you see they're not even going to the basket yet, even though Matt Toingay's had some opportunities. They want to run this clock.
Abby Cooch off the dribble, connects on the 3, and it's Denison up by a dozen.
Mo Hurt could not have drawn it up better to run the shot clock down and get a 3, but you have to have a player that can knock down that shot. Such a luxury to have Abby Cooch on your roster. Again, several open looks here. Matt Toingay could have gone to the basket. She's so disciplined. You see the shot clock was at 2 when Abby Cooch drains that three-pointer. You think about the number of times that Denison has practiced this, that they've talked about these moments to manage the clock and then to have a player that can knock down a shot of that caliber. That's the biggest shot of Abby Cooch's career.
has started every single game during her 3 seasons on campus. Coach Hurt said she's a big reason that we've taken the jump as a program. They had an injury-plagued campaign last year without Ada Towdy, without Morgan Kress. Amelie Matonge was not a big part of the proceedings. Fully healthy, knock on wood, this season, and here they are, 60 seconds away from a title.
Meanwhile, for Scranton, they have been looking for their big shooters. Now they look to Bennett inside. Really good post moves, just could not capitalize. Didn't look like she got enough arch on that ball.
Romanowski will tie up to Riggi, but Denison has the arrow and will keep the ball with 45.5 to go.
But a good defensive possession. No surprise that the monster defensive play comes from Kaylee Romanowski. You see on your screen a 17-2 run by Denison. Scranton threw everything they could at the Big Red at the start of the 3rd quarter, and then Denison found the answer. And I think one thing that Mo Hurt has to be so happy about was it wasn't just one player. We talked about Ada Towdy. She really stepped up. We've talked about Abby Cooch. She's really stepped up. But I think Amelie Matonge, even though it hasn't been as much as the offense, she has been such a big factor as well in terms of the defense, the rebounds, and just her ability to be a presence.
Will she take the open layup here? Yes, she will. Denison stretches it out, 55-41.
Frankly, I'm glad to see her get rewarded in that moment because she has been so very good this Final Four weekend.
Borski misses the 3. Violet Mitchell has it. Will the Lady Royals foul? It appears the answer is no.
And you're going to see Denison here. They're starting to feel it as they go over to Abby Cooch. What a special moment. Hugs all around. We have not really seen emotion out of Abby Cooch like this all weekend long. But the Big Red realizes that they have just done something that no other team in Denison women's basketball history has done.
The dream season for Denison ends with the title, the Big Red, your 2026 Division III national champions. What an unbelievable run all the way down to Salem, Virginia. And they pull away from Scranton here in the title game.
And I think what is so special for Mo Hurt and her team, we saw them win today in a very different way than we saw them win on Thursday. On Thursday, it was all about their defensive pressure leading to transition buckets. They got the early lead and they never looked back. Today, it was much more about team basketball in the half court, having to find different ways to win, having to grit, having to grind, having to do the little things. When you have a basketball team that can adjust in the moment and do things differently, that spells good things, and that is why Denison is your NCAA Division III women's basketball national champions.
Extending their program record with a 30th victory. And they will cut down the nets here at the Kreger Center. We will visit with Mo Hurt as soon as we can. Denison hands Scranton its first and only loss of the 2025-2026 campaign. After the Lady Royals had ended an amazing streak from NYU, snapped the Violets' run of 91 consecutive wins with that semifinal victory here on Thursday night.
Well, when we saw the slate that we had coming into this Final Four, we knew that we were going to be in for a treat. There was so much history made this weekend, so many great individual performances, but I think the best team, the team that had every facet, every component, so many different players playing well, is the one that's hoisting the trophy.
We are joined now by Maureen Hurt, the head coach of Denison. Coach, 3 years ago, your first season, this team won 10 games. You were about to cut down the nets here after winning a national championship in Salem. Can you put this into perspective right now?
I can't guys. It's just, I mean, so many emotions right now. I think the biggest one I feel is gratitude. Gratitude for this team, this university, my staff. You know, I think a lot of people thought this year was a fluke, and I think we just proved it's not a fluke, and Denison women's basketball is the real deal.
Coach Ben O'Brien made some great adjustments after the first half. His team came out ready to play, scored some buckets, then you made some adjustments. Can you talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, 11 got a lot of those top of the key threes there in the third quarter, and so we tried to get a little bit more on the perimeter to defend the three-point, and we were digging off the ball side a little bit too much, and that's just not our defensive principles. So we wanted to protect the perimeter a little bit more and let Annalie, number 23, clean it up inside. We made that adjustment, and it proved to win us the game, I think, in a lot of ways.
Coach, it's the junior class that's at the center of everything great that's been happening for Denison basketball. It almost seems like you arrived a year ahead of schedule, right?
Yeah, I mean, this junior class, I mean, they committed to Denison when we were 10 and 16 the year before, and I told Abby, Ada, Violet, Adeline Moore joined us as a transfer. Like, we said that the ceiling for this program is national championships, and to see them do that together, it's just the most special thing I've ever experienced as a coach, and I'm just so proud of them and their belief in me, their belief in the program, and to see this pay off like that, it's just can't even write a movie about it, I think.
Well, Coach, congratulations. What an awesome accomplishment. Go celebrate.
Okay, thank you guys so much.
That is Maureen Hurt, the head coach of Denison, whose team has won the title here in Salem. What a fantastic weekend of basketball. Thanks for joining us throughout the last couple of days here at the Kreger Center in Salem, Virginia. For our producer, David Harris, and for Monica Moore and our outstanding crew, I'm Jeremy Franklin saying so long. You can watch the trophy presentation on ESPN+. Denison, your 2026 NCAA Division III national champions.